Mm, Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Um, Welcome to this live. Um, Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. I would like you to comment in the chat box if you can hear me. Okay, I guess I'm still waiting for people to join in. Okay. Um, Hi Dami. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining in. Thank you. Um, all right, I can see the messages. Wow. Yeah, same here. Please, can you hear me clearly though? My voice is a bit down, so I feel like I can't even hear myself. All right, I wait for people to join in. Um, Earlier with the okay, I had an issue earlier with the previous link I shared, so I had to take that link down and set up this new one. So unfortunately, I couldn't do the campaign I did, sharing the links for the previous. You're welcome. So I couldn't share the link for this link the same way I did with the others. So I do hope that the people I was able to share briefly with got the memo, got the memo, and they're able to join. So once again, welcome everyone to this live. If this is your first time here, so the people I'm seeing here is not their first time. But if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Titi Lope, and I'm a YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. If you are a returning audience, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thanks for um, coming through always. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it. I do not take it for granted. So I guess we just dive right into it. We're talking about parental preference, and the essence of this life is to try and understand why does it seem like some children, a child, prefer one parent to the other, right? Um, okay, a background to the reason for this life. So I think it was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago. That was Father's Day was just last Sunday, yeah. So about 2 weeks ago, I was in a conversation with a friend, um, a parent like me. Um, so there was something he posted on his status, and it was about if only children understand the sacrifice fathers make behind the scenes, right? Also, I engaged his status and I was like, oh, well, I want to believe that children understand that, especially in a functional family um, where both parents are present. Should I, thank you. Hi, thank you. Thanks for joining in. So, like I was saying, um, that in a functional family, children can see what their parents do, right? Um, and it doesn't mean, like I said, it has to be a functional family. So it's not a situation where maybe the father is estranged or the mother is nowhere to be found or something, right? It has to be both parents are present in the family. Now, what happens when a child prefers the mother to the father or the father to the mother? Um, Now, the sentiment of this person that I had this conversation with is that children tend to appreciate their mothers more, right? There's um, the sentiment that the mothers are usually more celebrated than the fathers, right? And there's this general sentiment about the fact that there are more days in the year where women, mothers are being celebrated. You have like 3 Mothers Day in a year, then there's the International Women's Day and all of that. And then there's just one Sunday for the fathers, right? As funny or hilarious as that may be, I had to tell the person that I don't think that's the situation. There are instances where some children prefer their father to the mother. There are instances where um, the bond that children tend to share with their father is second to none, right? And then I don't think that the idea is oh mothers because mother carried the pregnancy, was with them through this and that. No. As much as yes, there's this bond in pregnancy between the mother and the child in the womb, right? But as a child grows, now I'm talking as an adult now, and based on experience over the years, as a child grows, a child would know, okay, for some reasons that I'm going to share, and I would obviously love your feedback on. For some reasons, as a child grows and as they mature, they tend to tilt towards one parent compared to the other, right? Now, what's the reason for that? And that's the reason for this life. We are trying to understand why. So you don't take it out. I believe for some people that I'm seeing here, that have joined here, their parents, right? And for anyone that would watch this video at any point in time, and you're a parent, you don't feel like, oh, my child prefers me to his dad, or the dad is like, oh, my child does not care about me or whatnot, right? So now we know that as you give birth to a child, for some reasons, right? Um, Usually, or as I have observed, the the bond between the child, especially in their early years, is usually more towards the mother, right? For some family, it might not be the case. It might be the father, and we can base that. We can use that sentiment to say, oh, uh, fathers are not being appreciated enough. Or this, thank God that just 2 days ago was Father's Day, right? And we all saw the whole celebrations towards the father and all of that. I saw that. I saw that. And it was more like what it was for the Mother's Day. So again, it brings home the fact that for some people that seem, children, adults alike, that seem to like, oh, it is my father that I like more. Oh, my father is my bestie. My mom is my bestie. There are reasons for that. While growing up, I felt, no, not I felt, I liked my dad more. But I used to feel like, oh, I'm my dad's baby, in quotes. And over the years, that sentiment changed. And for me, it wasn't because my dad wasn't doing enough. He was doing well enough for those years when yeah, I really liked him, this one, that one. I was always like, oh, any man that I have to marry has to be like my father, oh, this one, that one. But the sentiment and drawing points together changed over the years, right? And sitting down and looking at it, like I explained to this person. In fact, this person had to make reference to the fact that, let's say, for celebrities now, like actors, actresses, when during award ceremony, right? Um, then anyone receives award, the first thing is, I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my mom. This award is dedicated to my mom. This, and that. And the guy was like, come on now. Is it that are you trying to say fathers are not doing anything? Are you trying to say this one? No. If I had to draw examples for him, there are actors that at least I've seen that have celebrated their fathers the more. And again, like I said, we are going to the essence of this life is to understand this um preference, to understand this sentiment. There are people that celebrate like their fathers are in our faces. They are there. And are you trying to say, oh, okay, that's just yeah, usually it's like one in a 1,000 or whatever. But it doesn't mean that there is no regard, no honor, no desire, no liking for the father, right? So now, what are some of the reasons that I have observed over the years that is responsible for why a child prefers a parent to the other? Like I said, parental preference, right? I prefer my mother to my father or my father to my mother, whatever the case may be. So what are those things? I would please, guys, I would like to see your comments, whatever it is, your points. This is not how would I put it now? A video where others can join. At least I would have asked for your feedback, but you can put in your feedback in the chat box. I'll see it, comments about it, respond to. Thank you, Morapi. Please, guys, like this live. Like it too. Thank you very much. Thanks for that, actually. Thank you. Thanks, everyone that joined. Thank you. Can just send a hi so at least I acknowledge you. Send a hi in the chat box so I acknowledge you. By the way, I don't know if my voice is audible enough for you. I'm a bit under the weather and I have this terrible sore throat. So my voice is a bit down, but I'm trying as much as possible to be loud enough so you can hear me. So if at any point you can't hear anything I'm saying, all right, thank you very much, sir. Okay, that's good. um so now, like I was saying, what are some of the things that I have observed over the years is responsible? Thank you very much. Thank you, ma. Is responsible for why a child prefers a parent to the other. Again, take note that we are talking in the context of a functional family. In a dysfunctional family, well, say parents are separated, there's divorce, or maybe a child has grown to sin one of the parents being abused or molested over the years, yes, the sentiment will be there. It will be tilted towards one, the person as is always available. Say, for instance, in the case of separation or divorce, a child is likely to prefer the parent he or she is staying with than the one who is estranged. In the case of, say, infidelity that is made known to the child we tend to have some sort of dislike for the other parent. So I'm not talking in that context. And which is why I want to believe that for everyone who is here, who is a parent and would be a parent, the whole essence of being in union is to have a family that functions well, have a family that is responsible, raising responsible children, raising responsible adults that will go on to influence the society, right? Now, for okay, let's take the case of there's this Nigerian actress. Her name is Bimbo Ademoye. Over the years, she has always come forth to show how much she loves her father. And in her own case, her mother, according to her, her mother left when she was a little child. So you don't expect a child whose mother left her, now an adult, whose mother left her as a child, was not present in her life through her formative years, was not present while she was a teenager, was not present now that she's an adult, was not present now that she's making money to say, oh, okay, I love my mom. I prefer my mom to my dad. And then they ask, okay, so why do you prefer your mom to you? And it's like, background, nothing to say. Obviously, in that instance, her father has been there all of her life. She has talked severally about how her father has followed her to several auditions. Her father has helped her through this dream and desire to becoming an actress, and how he has consistently, even now as an actress, consistently stayed with her, right? So in that kind of instance, definitely the preference will be tilted towards the the parent figure that has been present in our lives and has helped her all through the years. Okay, I like my dad more, and my mom assumed as a child. Oh, right. Exactly. Maybe some other day we are going to talk about the parents aspect of liking a child more than the other. Yes. Okay. So yes, exactly. As you grow older, your orientation will change. Now, I have a 2-year-old going to 3, and I'm grateful for the kind of work that I do. Um, Most times I'm home. Some days I go to the office, right? So my work is hybrid. Some days at home, in fact, not some, most days at home, and some days in the office. So which means that I am always with my child, always with my child. So for now, it has to be mommy this, mommy that, mommy that. It doesn't mean that when a dad is around, they don't play around, they don't do all sorts of things. But like I've seen, when it comes to choosing at this age, choosing between staying with dad and staying with mom, obviously staying with mom. She's just two. If for some reason the work dynamics between myself and my husband changes tomorrow in the future, and my husband is the one who is more present, so to say, and I am away, that likeness or preference might change. But as she grows older, she would have known and have learned over the years that okay, this, and this was the reason for this, and this. Now, if she grows and she decides, oh, this is a person I prefer more, um, mom, dad, whichever way, is our opinion. And again, like I said, I am talking in the context of a functional family where both parents, the father and the mother, are present as it should be, right? So now, what are some of the reasons? Like, sorry, I keep going back and forth on that. It's because I was trying to get the messages. I don't want to skip and not acknowledge some of the messages I'm seeing here. So, what are some of those things that tends to influence a child's preference for one parent or the other? Number one is your parenting style. Um, as we've been made known from reading, attending conferences, lectures, and whatnot, children like consistency, right? Especially, say, toddlers, preteens. Now, if a child knows if I do something, this is how my mom or my dad will respond. And for toddlers, they kind of prefer parents that have listening ears, not shout, scream, and do all the judgmental parenting kind of thing, right? Children would tend to withdraw from such kind of parents. Now, God help that kind of child. If both parents are like that, now I want to believe both parents cannot be like that. Now, in that instance, a child would tend to tilt towards a parent that he or she feels is more understanding, he or she feels is more attentive and show more concern to their feelings and emotions, right? Rather than just go all Margaret Thatcher on them. So when a child feels like, oh, if I do something wrong, there are some children that when they do something wrong, no matter how little it is, they're already panicking because, oh, daddy was not here, mommy was not here. And that kind of instance, the child would not be expressive towards the parent that they feel like is rigid, is all too hard on them, right? So they tend to withdraw and tend to find a some sort of solace in a parent where they feel, okay, this person listens to me more. This person is more attentive to my whatever it is I have to say and cares about my emotions and feelings. You'll be surprised how emotional children can be, even when you feel like they don't understand their feelings, even when you feel like they don't understand their own emotions. You'll be surprised. Sometimes my 2-year-old, when she has to say something to me, and probably I'm engaged in something, you will hear, mommy, look at me, mommy, see. And she won't continue what she wants you to see until you look at her and say, oh, okay, so what exactly are you trying to say? That's the case. So if you are the kind of parent that, hey, your child draws pen, you have the roof is on fire. I'm sure some parents here must have observed that, especially if you have, even if it's just one self, you must have observed that. Maybe when a child makes a mistake, they're already panicking. Yeah, there has to be the parent who is hard and parent who is soft because, well, both parents have different temperaments. But then again, children tend to make decisions based on the kind of reception that they have, that they receive, so to say, yes. So we don't want a situation where both parents are full on abacha or whatever. No. And that is why I feel like the issue where children grow through the years and are unable to communicate with their parents, unable to share their ideas with them, especially when they are like teenagers and they are being introduced to different kind of things they are unable to share with their parents, is because of the kind of reception that they've received from their parents over time. And the long term effect of that can be devastating if your child cannot see you as a person that he or she can walk up to, irrespective of how angry you are at them. Yeah, it doesn't mean that when your child does wrong, you just let it go. All in the name of I don't want to push my child away. I want my child. There has been different what's it called, we parenting styles now. We have the authoritarian, we have the authoritative, then we have the permissive, right? Permissive is I don't want my child to be offended, okay, just keep doing whatever you want to do. The authoritarian, like I said earlier, the full on Margaret Thatcher kind of people, and the authoritative, your love on one side and discipline on the other side. Permissive. A toddlers would like people, hey, you're doing rub my head, don't correct me too much, don't shout, do this, indulge their excesses, right? They like that. But as they grow older, that's just the thing. And that was why I was trying to explain to this friend of mine. As a child grows older and is being exposed to who's okay, I hope I'm back online. If you can hear me, if I'm back, please let me know. Um Network palaver. Kindly comment in the chat box if I'm back online. Okay, so as I was saying, as a child grows through the years, they tend to know what is right. Okay, thank you very much. They tend to know what is right and what is wrong. So even if we are the kind of parents that has indulged them while they were growing up, just because, oh, I want my child to like me, I don't want to be offended, I don't want to do this. As they grow older, as they thank you very much, Shil. Thank you. All right. So as they grow older and they relate with people and they engage with people and they engage with life, your permissive kind of parenting would not cut it. Would not cut it. Let me say again that I am talking in the context of a functional family, which is why both father and mother should be on the same page when it comes to how to parent their children. Father cannot be going to east and mother will be going to west. If that's the style in any family, right? Yes, because children love when they can be indulged. They will tend to tilt towards the parent that will indulge them and not correct their excesses. But as they grow, may our case not be the kind of thing we see in African Magic, where you see that later in the year, the child will come and say, I hate you, this one, that one. While I was growing up, you did not correct me, you did not do this. My father did this. May our case not be like that. But again, the essence of parenting is so we want to raise sound children, uh, wise children, um, children that exude love, which is why we ourselves must be that kind of a parent. Now, I've mentioned one part why a child tends to tilt towards a parent. Like I said, the parenting style. Are you a permissive parent? Are you the kind that indulge a child? You are scared that your child might find it so rigid, and so you just keep pampering them. Are you the authoritarian? You get, but the authoritative, like I said, love on one and discipline on the other. You balance both. You balance both. Now another thing is how much time a parent spend with the child. We Everybody loves love. Everybody loves, even as adults, as parents, right? You love to to be the center of attention to someone. For husband, wife, you love to be the center of attention to your spouses, and the same goes for a child. For a parent that spends more time with a child, the child tends to like, oh, I prefer that. I prefer mom, whichever cases. Like in my own instance, though I won't go, oh, Remide, who do you like more? Your dad or me? No, I won't do that. Again, I would like to caution that. Let's not go all this secondary school debate kind of way. Okay, so let me note that question and I will come to that. My opinion for parents that are busy with work always. I'll come to that. Thank you very much, Shim, for that question. So, like I was saying, um, let's not be that kind of parent. This is better, daddy is better than mom, mom is better than no, no, no. Let's not do that. It's not right, it's not healthy. You can't go asking your child, do you like daddy more than me? Do you like mommy more than me? What's that? What's that? Okay, this question that okay, sure. You know what? I've noted your question. I'll get on with it as I hope you please don't go off this life. Don't go off. I'll answer your question. And this is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Don't go all on, hey, come. You come. Oh. Do you like daddy more than me? Do you like mom? No, no, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is you trying to plant some seed of division in the mind of your children. Why do you want to know? In fact, let's talk it. Why do you want to know if your child likes you more than your husband or likes you more than your wife? Why? Oh yeah, answer why? No, because really, what's that? It's not a competition. Parenting is not a competition and shouldn't be a competition. It shouldn't be. Are you doing anything wrong about the way you parent your child? Father, mother, are you? If you are, then sit down, take a stock of how you relate with your children and be better. So all this one now people say, hey, and some actually, oh come on, it's not a bragging right. It's not a bragging right that you think that your child prefers you to your spouse, to your partner. No. So if your child says, oh, I like mommy more than your next question, mommy more than daddy. Or why do you like daddy more than mommy? For children, be rest assured, especially between like ages 1 year can't really say much, 2 years can't say much. Let's say from 3 to like 7, 8, you would hear instances like, oh, I like mommy because mommy gives me this, mommy, daddy buys me chocolate, daddy buys me toys, daddy takes me out, mommy is always at home, mommy helps me with my homework, blah 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 blah. For the preteens, be rest assured that the response will be different. And for the teens, the response will be extremely different because at that age, they don't want someone poking in their businesses and all. If a child tells you, now, oh, I like mommy, and no, daddy, is it I like more than mommy? Don't go, yes, my child likes, no, no, no. Because I've seen some shows online where they interview children and ask them that question. And yeah, it's a thing of pride. But then again, your own should be, why does my child prefer me more than the other person? Or why does my child prefer the other person to me? So you take a stock of, what exactly am I doing wrong? What exactly have I not been doing to this child? Again, it's not about the fact that you're trying to compete with your partner, right? You are not trying to compete with your partner. But the thing is, to have a wholesome community, society, we need to raise wholesome children. So the home cannot be divided, and you expect the child who then goes on to become an adult to be whole. No. So the idea is to pool resources, parenting resources together, and raise children that then goes on to impact the society. With bonding, it talks about the amount of time spent with your child. How much time do you spend with your child? How well do you know your child? Some parents, though the father is not estranged, the mother is not estranged, they are both living together under the same roof, eating together, sleeping together, going out together. But if you ask a parent, say a father or a mother, like I said, it's both ways. I'm not the kind of person that advocate, oh yes, it's the mother, oh yes, it's the father. No, 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 no. We've seen how much damage that has done. Anybody can be a good parent. It's not etched in stone that it is a mother that has to be a good parent. No. So this idea where no, it is a mother is, when we now start bringing the attribute. Yeah, we know women are natural caregivers and all of that, but that doesn't mean a man cannot be the same. That doesn't mean a man cannot express the same love, the same compassion, empathy towards a child or whatever. That does not mean a man cannot be there and should not be there for their children. So the whole idea of just dividing responsibilities between parents and saying, okay, it is set in stone that a father has to be a provider. And so what the man does is just go out. As long as I am bringing money to the table, as long as my child has attended the best schools in the world, as long as I am able to provide for every of their needs, parenting is more than provision. It's more than provision. You'll be amazed at how children who grew up in very low income families love their father, mother, like compared to people, the ones that grow up in big families where everything is being provided for. None of us will be poor in Jesus' name. Sha. Again, your social status is not a yardstick for measuring how well of or how good of a parent you should be. Both fathers and mothers should, so that by the time your child grows to a certain age, especially when they become dependent or and um when they grow on to become parents themselves, they can always look back and say, okay, and draw strength from the way they were raised. Sure. No way, you didn't do that. You did not. No, this is your own child. Imagine, oh my God. So you often lied. You tell dad, oh, dad, I like you more. When your mom asks, you tell mom that you like her more than your dad, and by that you're able to get gifts from both parents. You see what I was saying, right? It shouldn't be. Why should a parent be asking their child that, who do you like the most? It should not be. It should not be. So yeah, I've mentioned parenting style, I've mentioned bonding. Okay, so an aspect of bonding is the amount of time you spend with your child. Now, again, not just the fact that you're staying with your child from morning till night. I've marked attendance from Monday morning to night. I was with my Tuesday morning to night. How effective is the time spent together with your child? Please, if you have questions or anything, kindly drop in the chat box. So I would attend to everything. I just want to get this set, and then we can go on attending to questions. So Monday, I was with my child, morning to afternoon. Take Tuesday. So as you're taking it, you say, thank God, oh, in Papa no day. Point one for me. Second day, thank God, oh, na in Mama no day. Point one for me. No. How productive was the time spent together with your child or your children? How effective was it? Are you the right? I'm going to talk about that actually. I'm going to talk about it. Now, how effective was the time spent together with your child or children? What was it you did in the times you stayed with your children at home? In fact, it might not be at home. For some, and considering the age that we are in now, where it is gadget galore, some parents will be with their children and they are either on the phones all through, or they are watching TV or doing whatnot. Even sometimes when the child comes tugging at their clothes and saying, Daddy, 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 or Mommy, 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 they're like, you know what, go and play, go and do this, go and do that. Yeah, I understand the fact that sometimes on some days the stress of parenting, especially for women, might overwhelm us, and you just be like, you know what, don't stress me. But it doesn't mean that, say, like in Nigeria now, Monday and Tuesday was public holiday. So which means that for a lot of people, especially people who are salary enhanced civil servants, were home for those 2 days. Now you'll be surprised that for those 2 days, some parents, what they did was concentrating on themselves. No, for instance, let me take Lagos State. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. Initially, prior to getting married and in the early days of my marriage, I was always going to work every day. So I live on the mainland, I work on the island, right? By 5 o'clock, I'm out of the house. On some days, I don't get back home until around 10 p.m. There's been days where I got home to 12, like 12 midnight. Now, imagine at the time I gave birth to my child, that was my regular lifestyle. Leave home 5, get back 10. By 5, my child is not awake. By 10, she's asleep. So we go like that. I must work. Okay, maybe not must. I have to work, right? So I'm working. And then Saturdays and Sundays, when I do not go to work, my child is still not feeling my presence. Before you know it, and if that lifestyle continues, you would be surprised that there is nothing in this world that I can say. There is no excuse that I can give that will wash me clean, so to say, that will make my child see me otherwise as the unavailable parent. Now that brings me to what Murapi says, that okay, she says here that I don't have experience with understanding certain preference, but I am for kids. For kids should not have preferences. Now, okay, so I guess now I would attend to Seun's question too. It is as much as a child can say they like a parent to the other. It shouldn't it shouldn't be the way to go, right? If a child says, I like my mom, if you ask them why. Now, for me, if I'd continued my lifestyle or if my work remained the same as it was in my early days of marriage, where I'm out of the house by 5 a.m., I get back by 10, and it just keeps goes, which means that for 5 days in a week, I'm unavailable, right? Now, my the wise thing to do is to make the most of the days I am off work. Make the most of it. Spending time with my children. If say outside in the public, my child is being asked, "Oh, who do you like more?" and the child says, "Oh, I like my dad," and then it is for both parents to come home and ask, okay, so can you tell us why you say you prefer? And then the child will go on listing and listing. This is the reason. So it is the responsibility of the parent to explain to the child, oh, excuse me, to explain to the child that, okay, your mom is not available for so, and so reasons. It is not for one of the parents to ride on that and take advantage of that for themselves. No. Explain to the parent, to the child, children, oh, this is why mommy is always away. This is why daddy is always away. It doesn't mean daddy does not care about you. It doesn't mean daddy does not love you. It doesn't mean mommy does not love you. But this is this. And if you observe, which is why I said it is important that for parents that are busy, you make out time whenever you're not busy, when you leave your weekends, public holidays, make out time to spend time with your children, make it worthwhile, so that even when you are away for a while, they know that, okay, this person is not away because they do not like me. This person is not away because they do not they have no regard for me as a child. They are away for this, for situations that they cannot help. Because in times when they can help those situations, they are available. So that is the way it should be. Again, we're talking about a functional family, a family where both partners are in good relationship. If partners are not in good relationship, there's no, in fact, I know some people that despite the fact that they are separated or divorced, they still speak so highly of their partners and not paint them bad before their children. That is what we are supposed to be doing as parents, as partners, right? So let's not, as much as yes, children might tend to, it is the responsibility of both parents to ensure that the children see the two of them as working together for their good, see the two of them as people, as figures that care about them, see the two of them as figures that are all about their growth, their what's it called, their success. So not just one part is going this way and the other part is going this way. So yes. Okay, so let me just go to this question by Sheung, and it's a tricky question. Sheung is asking what my opinion is for parents that are busy with work always. And then it goes further to say, or he or she, I don't know, is it advisable to get an house help to keep their to keep their company pending when the parents will be back from work? Hey, you see this? I'm sure some people on this life that know me, know me, know me, know me, know me. You see this question that he has concerning help. Hey, hey. Well, I'll give my 2 cents. Again, it is my opinion. It is the way I see things. It is the way I've been running things. It might change in the future if, again, the dynamics of my family changes or not. But usually, it is not advisable that both parents, it is not advisable that both parents should be involved in work, job, career that takes their time away from their children. See, if I remove this part and upload it on social media, be rest assured that people are coming for my head. They are coming for my, because we don't want to hear these things. We want something that suits us. And that is the reason. Let me not talk about that. Let me not talk about it. But again, like I said, it is not advisable that both parents are involved in jobs that take their time, so much so they do not have time for their children. Yes, parenting shouldn't be a competition at all. So back to Shion's question. Me, I do not advise it. Yes, we talk about, oh, the parent, the wife has something she was doing right before she got married. Good for the wife. The husband has something she was doing for before they got, good for the husband. We have to make money. Is money or there is to life? Really? Is it? If you're raising, if you're all about the career, the job, your businesses and all of that, building an empire and everything, 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 and you just leave your children, mostly in instances like that, which brings us to the second part of Shane's question. In instances like that, the parent employs the services of a nanny, of a living maid, or, well, if the two of them are busy always, it means they have a maid that lives in the house. Some people have been very lucky when it comes to house help. In fact, congratulations to them. Very lucky. They've had helps that's been really, really good and what have you. Good. But some have not been lucky with house help. In fact, I can't remember when, but somewhere last month, I think last month, there was a movie I saw, but this one is even funny, where they got married, the wife was working in Port Harcourt. Now, because her husband stays in Lagos, she has to move in, which means she has to resign her job in Port Harcourt. She was working for an oil company. She was earning really well and all of that. But upon getting into marriage, the husband insisted that, oh, she has to work. She has to work. And the husband was really on her neck for that. Along the line, she got pregnant and then she gave birth. Lately, she gave birth. Her husband was still on her neck for, oh, you have to work, you have to work, you have to work, you have to work. Eventually, she got a job with a foreign oil company in Port Harcourt where she was earning dollars. Now, another reason why the husband was on a case, aside the fact that he expects her to bring in income, the husband was on a case so that he could, for the bragging right, so that he could tell his friend, oh, my wife is working and hence so. Eventually, this lady got a job with some company not within Lagos. Take note that her child was still less than 6 months at the time. She told her husband, and then the husband insisted that she take the job, which means she has to leave Lagos. Okay, will my child be coming with me? Oh, no, no. The child will be here with me in Lagos. You just be going. So, unlike what we see most times, where it is the father who takes on the long distance job and just shows up once in a while, it was the mother in this instance. Along the line, blah, 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 they lost the baby. So they had a help who was tending for the child and some diabolical whatever. They lost the baby. I'm not a fan of outside. If it is not family, in fact, for family self, I have a preference. So if it is not family, then it is the responsibility of myself and my husband to sit down and make it work. Even if it means I have to leave my job. Yes, the you have to make money, especially in this economy that we're in. Right, I understand that. But then again, both parents, I think it was someone who said the children you gave birth to, they didn't ask to be given birth to. It was you that decided, oh, I want to become a father, I want to become a mother. So when that comes up, it is no longer, it is now a case of God first, right? And then your children, not even yourself first. Because it is your responsibility that you take good care of these gifts, these treasures that God has given you. And the excuse of I was busy making money, responsible for okay, I was busy making money, but then your child is wayward, is disrespectful, um, is uncourteous, and all those things. Nah, I'm a bit how would I put it? What's the word to express this now? When I see uncultured children outside, mm-mm. And we have them a lot now. Children who have teenagers that have no regard for anyone whatsoever. Go back home. There are some children that it is important. But then if a child is raised up in a loving environment, as parent that he or she can walk up to at any point in time to pour their minds to make known their feelings. Such child, it will be very difficult to be influenced by peer pressure. It will be very difficult for such child to have low self-esteem. It will be very difficult for such child to become a nuisance to the society. So now my charge, or yes, to you watching and for anyone who will watch this later on, is what kind of home do you want to have? What kind of children do every one of us keep complaining about the decadence in the society, especially when it comes to children and teenagers. We keep shouting Gen Zs, Gen Z. I've seen Gen Zs, right, that are very reasonable, very wise, very respectful, very responsible. So forget this old tag of, oh, when you see someone, yeah, hey, yeah, Gen Z. No. Forget that tag. No. there are people that are Gen Z, so to say, because it seems like um, if anybody speaks rudely, disrespectfully, has no caution with the way they relate, with the way they speak, we all just assume they are Gen Zs, right? Most times they are. But there are people, there is the so-called Gen Zs that are really responsible and do not have all this messy attitude and character. And that draws back to, where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? Now, the new generation, I think they call them the Gen Alphas. Their own is even, let me not say worse. Their attributes, characteristics is even way, 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 way worse than what the Gen Zs are showing us now. I think that's the age range between 20 something, I can't remember. Basically, the children that we are giving birth to now. So, for the would-be parent, what kind of child do you want to raise? What kind of children do you want to raise? What kind of parent do you want to be? So, if there's anyone on here who is unmarried and is listening to this or watching this, at the point of making the decision to get married and start giving birth, you have to sit down and weigh your options. Weigh your options. Shay, I don't know if you're married or if you're not. If you're asking this, if that's a situation you're in, or you're looking, okay, when I'm married, or my wife and I are busy, maybe you're in a relationship and you're talking based on this your present situation. When it's time to get married and when it's time to start birthing, right? Yourself and your spouse have to come to a decision as to making something work. I'm not the best person to advise when it comes to ourselves. Trust me, because I'm going to do that based on sentiments. I'm sorry. I'm going to do that based on sentiment. But, and again, I think my sentiment was based off of experiences, stories that I heard. So, pardon me if I'm not giving the best advice when it comes to house help, right? Sometimes to ease the stress of your spouse, especially if you know as a husband you are not readily available. Yes, you can get help. There are people that come in, help, and go, not necessarily living. But the idea of entrusting your child to what's it called? An outsider, entrusting them fully, because that is it. You are entrusting them fully. So they are responsible for what your child eats, what your child do. There are some people that you feel like, oh, I know them well, and this one. There has been several instances of house help gone wrong. I don't want. I've never, like I said, as I've never had help. Yes, there are days when it's overwhelming, but it is what it is. So, but the idea again, I'm honestly against. Yeah, pardon me for that strong word, but I do not buy into the idea of both parents being too busy. um Husband ajala travel, always up and about, wife to now, no, no, no. When it's time to start raising children, I think even you, when you get to that point, you know that okay, this is the sacrifice we have to. There are people who have taken breaks from their career, especially women. They have taken breaks from their career. For some, it has been men that have taken breaks from their career to at least raise their children to a certain age, raise their children to a certain age, and when their children have reached that particular milestone, they resume their life and they are doing beautifully well. They are doing beautifully well. So again, when it comes to children, it's a decision of them, not of me, mostly. So I hope that answers your question. Hi Lungi, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope to a reasonable extent I have been able to do justice to this parental preference. At so just to cap it, just to cap this discussion, yes, as there's no way, there's nothing we can do about the fact that a child may like a parent to the other. But even if there's nothing that you take home, but I believe there are a lot of things that you've been able to pick from this life, is the fact that we have to understand that parenting is partnership, not competition. So if you feel like your child at some point or the other is tilting towards a parent or the other, even you as a parent that a child seems to like more, it is your responsibility to ensure that your child understand for whatever reason the child might have given you concerning your partner. It is your responsibility to ensure that the child comes to an understanding of why the situation in your family is that way. Not ride on that and say, yes, I've arrived, I'm the best parent of the year. No, 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 no. If one parent wins and the other parent fails, be rest assured that that parenting has failed. Even in the eyes of God, it has failed. So thank you. Yes, thank you very much once again for joining in. Thank you. A big shout out to Dami. Thank you. Thank you for being on my neck all these days. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you for being a part of it. Um, Even though I still am. I am a bit under the weather. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. But then I'd committed to doing this, and I just had to come through. So thank you. Thank you for yeah, Sean, did I answer your question? I don't know if you were here when I was attending to your question, but I do hope that I did. We'll be having this sort of discussions from time to time. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, hopefully. We'll be having these discussions from time to time. If you are here and you've not subscribed, please do so. Subscribe. There are other content on my channel. Please go through, like, share with your friends, share on your social media platforms, and keep coming back. I promise, on my honor, to be more available and put more videos out there. So thank you so very much for being a part of this. I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you. Do enjoy the rest of your day. And it's bye from me. Bye. Okay. Mm. Uh-oh.